Intro to Chart Visualizations. The evolution of chart visualizations spans centuries, nationalities, and disciplines. For hundreds of years, great thinkers have sought to organize data into visual representations that tell the stories of numbers in just one glance. The bar chart, the pie chart, the scatter chart. These are just some of the undisputed heavyweights of data visuals, and the breed of visual you are very likely most familiar with. But there are all kinds of chart visualizations which can be used to tell the story of your data. With Power BI, a competitive selection of visuals, from the tried and true to the less familiar, are at your fingertips. Pie charts are best used to represent data as parts of a whole. Bar and column charts are best used to compare specific values across different categories. Scatter charts combines two values, the x-axis and y-axis, into a single data point. They are best used to highlight intersections in data. Types include scatter, bubble, and dot plot chart. Waterfall charts are best used to show how a value is affected by positive and negative changes, and they show a progression from the initial value. Funnel charts are sequence charts best used to show how data flows between stages. Ribbon charts are best used to show highest to lowest values or rank. In this lesson, you will learn how to create and format some of these chart visualizations. You know what to do. Click Next to start the video. Create a scatter chart. Scatter charts show the relationship between two numerical values, making it easier to identify correlational relationships. In the Visualizations pane, click the Scatter Chart icon. In the Data pane, expand the table you want to use. Click and drag the data field you want to group the values by to the Values field. This field must be unique for each point you want to plot to avoid having one data point that aggregates the values on the x and y axes. Click and drag the data fields that should be displayed in the legend to the Legend field. Click and drag the data fields you want to use in the x-axis and y-axis fields. To visually emphasize a specific value with bubble sizes, click and drag the data field you want to emphasize to the Size field. Use the scatter chart visualization to tell a dynamic and comprehensive story with your data that illustrates the relationship between your x and y axes. Create a waterfall chart. Waterfall charts show a running total to help understand how an initial value is affected by a series of positive and negative changes. In the Visualizations pane, click the Waterfall Chart icon. Click and drag the visual to an appropriate area. In the Data pane, expand the tables you want to use in the visual. Click and drag the field you want to display on the x-axis of the waterfall chart to the Category field. Click and drag the value you want to display to the y-axis field. By default, waterfall charts display increases in green and decreases in red. To change the sort order or the field the waterfall chart is sorted by, select the More Options icon. Select Sort Axis to change the data field the chart is sorted by, and select if you want to sort in descending or ascending order. To add additional data to the visualization, click and drag the data field to the Breakdown field. Power By will add the top 5 contributors to increases or decreases for each category. Use waterfall chart visualizations to highlight the positive and negative changes over a period of time. Create a funnel. Funnel charts are useful for displaying data that has sequential changes. In the Visualizations pane, choose the funnel icon. In the Data pane, expand the tables you want to use in the visual. Click and drag the category to be displayed in the funnel to the Category field. Click and drag the value to be displayed for each category in the Values field. To view all your data, select and drag the visual to the size you want. With the new funnel chart, we can easily identify at which stage in the process the values drastically decrease in our data. Create a ribbon chart. Ribbon charts are a great choice to easily identify the highest value in your data set for each time period. In the Visualizations pane, choose the Ribbon Chart icon. In the Data pane, expand the tables you want to use in the visual. Click and drag the data field for the time period to the X-axis field. Click and drag the data field for the category to use to the Legend field. Click and drag the data field for the value to display in the ribbon chart to the Y-axis field. The ribbon chart populates with the selected data, with the highest value always displayed at the top. Identify rank changes over a period of time with ribbon charts.